UFC 299 is coming up next weekend, and I see a lot of opportunity to make money. And typically, as of recently for UFC, that has not been the case. We're going to get into the complete betting guide for today, everybody, with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. If you want to skip this intro, be my guest, whatever you want. We're going to get into that in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to, like I said, everybody, the complete betting guide video. Now, it is important to note, typically, I go through last weekend's bets, but Betway, the sportsbook that I use, has been having a huge problem and still has not released any round line props. So I posted the bets that I intend on making, and I made it clear in the YouTube post that, hey, I still have not been able to place these bets myself, but these are the bets that I intend on playing. So at this time, I'm recording this video early, and I still don't know how those bets actually went because I wanted to get this video out right away. I want to have it ready for you because it is a huge card. I wanted to get this out right away. So next week, I will recap the betting for last weekend's bets and the bets that we were making for UFC 299. So look out for that, guys. If you are interested in seeing my official plays, check out the channel membership. Very cheap compared to other channels, and you will see where I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is. But guys, with that being said, let's get into the confident picks. Now, guys, it is important to note that while these are picks of mine, these are not necessarily fights that I will be betting on. Again, the channel membership, you will have to see down below for that. But honestly, I'm still giving out my confident picks over here, and I'm not going to spend time breaking down every single fight everywhere because I have a full card breakdown already out for you. If you'd like me to dive a little bit deeper into all of these fights, I'm going to give a general take for them. Anyways, Felipe Lins versus Ion Cutelaba. I could really say Felipe wins getting the win here. I know I'm typically so against picking guys, and this is why I'm probably not going to actually bet on it, is because Felipe Lins is 38 years old, but at the end of the day, Ion Cutelaba has been chinny in the past. We know this Felipe Lins dude carries a ton of power. Coming off of a decision win, but even before that, he's had a lot of knockouts in his career. Regardless, I like Felipe Lins in this particular matchup against Ion Cutelaba. I could just see him getting chinned. The next confident pick I have for you guys is going to be Curtis Blaydes. He's taking on Jailton Almeida, and shockingly, I've seen a lot of people like talking about how this is a little bit of a close fight. People picking Jailton Almeida. I don't see that. Curtis Blaydes, honestly, guys, I almost picked him for lock of the week. I really like him in this matchup. I know Jailton Almeida has a fantastic ground game, coming off of a really sour performance. I know he's had a near perfect run in his entire career so far, but Curtis Blaydes, man, what's his problem? Chin? I don't think he has to worry about that against Jailton Almeida. I think he has better striking. I think he has better wrestling. I think he'll be stronger than Jailton Almeida. I really am confident in Curtis Blaydes, and I haven't looked at the lines or anything like that yet, but I'm probably going to be betting on Curtis Blaydes. Now, guys, this one I almost didn't include, okay? Because I'm picking Petr Yan, and I'm confident in Petr Yan, but he just has not been able to put it together as of lately. Don't know. I can see a close fight, and the judges just giving it to Song Yadong, okay? But anyways, guys, I think Petr Yan, and Song Yadong is a fantastic fight. Oh my God, this is one of my dream matchups, but I think Petr Yan is just a little bit better everywhere. That's it. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it's going to be a dog fight, but I think Petr Yan is just going to get the edge of the majority of the exchanges in this bout, and I'm picking him to win. Petr Yan is still in his prime. I know he hasn't been able to put it together, but he is a fantastic fighter and still arguably the best in the entire bantamweight division. All right, guys, let's talk about some underdog opportunities. The first underdog opportunity for you is going to be Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera, I almost put Marlon Vera in my confident pick section because I'm really feeling good about him, but I'm not nearly as confident in Marlon Vera as I am as the other fighters that I just spoke about. I will be saying, because of the value here, I will be putting a bet on Marlon Vera. At the time of recording this video, let's see. At the time of recording this video, he is sitting at a plus 300 underdog. I love that. I love that. Guy who beat him the first time, I think it's likely that Marlon Vera, over the course of 5 rounds, does a significant amount of damage to Sean O'Malley, and Marlon Vera's face in damage-based scoring just does not get pieced up. Sean O'Malley can hit him a million times. He won't bleed. He won't bruise. I'd be shocked if that happens, but we still have questions about Sean O'Malley in 5 rounds, so I think Marlon Vera is going to win, guys. I really am feeling good about that. And the other underdog opportunity I have for you is going to be Pedro Munoz. To be honest with you, I was kind of shocked that Pedro Munoz is an underdog. He's sitting at a plus 600, 262 underdog. But guys, Pedro Munoz, guys, he is a fantastic fighter. Kind of like Petr Yan, he just hasn't been able to put it together. To beat Pedro Munoz, you have to bring him into an absolute war, and Pedro Munoz will bring that. Kyler Phillips is a really good fighter himself, but I feel like Pedro Munoz is just that extra jump in competition that Carlo Phillips isn't ready for, because I think it'll look like a lot with Pedro Munoz taking on Chris Gutierrez, because you would see there was a clear step in competition for Chris Gutierrez, and Pedro Munoz kind of just knocked him back down. I think the same thing's going to happen, because if you look at Pedro Munoz's losses, they're against fantastic fighters, and they were all very close fights. Very close fights. Pedro Munoz is fantastic. He is one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC, and I, for the value, might like to bet on him, but I'm not going to lie to you. I have lost money on Pedro Munoz many times in the past because of those close losses. I thought he was going to beat Marlon Vera. I thought he was going to beat Dominic Cruz, and I thought he was going to beat Jose Aldo. I don't remember if I bet on all of the 3 fights, but sometimes I get a little bit caught up in how good Pedro Munoz is and don't realize sometimes, like, hey, he actually doesn't always get the win. So I might for the value because, again, Pedro Munoz, I think he's better. I think he's going to win this fight, but be careful with this one. All right, everybody, let's talk about some fights that, in my opinion, you should not be betting on. The first being CJ Vergara versus Azu Almabayev. Guys, this is going to be one of the best fights on the card. This is going to be a dog fight. This is going to be a war. Nothing else to say about that. I have no clue who's going to get the win. The next fight I don't think you should be betting on is actually going to be Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page, and the reason actually being just about Kevin Holland, because Kevin Holland left a really sour taste in my mouth in this last performance that he had against Jack Della Maddalena. He came in there, and don't get me wrong, he could have had an off night. Jack Della Maddalena just could have been better. But myself and a lot of MMA fans have kind of been holding the opinion that it didn't look like Kevin Holland really cared. It looked like he went out there for a sparring match, and it looked like he went out there to just get a paycheck. Could that be the case? Yeah, no. Like, we don't really know, right? But I don't like that. And if Kevin Holland's just coming in and looking for another sparring match, just trying to get some money, right? We could put on a boring performance and maybe Michael Page will just piece him up. But if Kevin Holland comes in here, motivated, ready to go, he can absolutely 100% chin Michael Venom Page because Page walks around, does a little dance, has his hands completely down. Kevin Holland has a reach advantage, uses it perfectly, has a lot of power in his hands. He can absolutely knock out Michael Page. So I don't know what Kevin Holland's going to show up. And for this one, I'm staying far away from it. The next fight I think you guys should be avoiding is going to be Katlyn Camarena versus Macy Barber. Long story short, this is one of those WMMA fights where anything could happen. There's nothing else to say about it. Now, guys, the last fight I believe you should be avoiding is Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. This is going to be violent. This is going to be crazy, and we don't know who's going to come out on top. You have Benoit Saint Denis, who has been murdering everybody on his path, but here's the problem. There is a giant step up in competition between Matt Frevola and Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier has the potential to completely fraud check Benoit Saint Denis, although it wouldn't exactly be a fraud check, but we know Benoit Saint Denis can get chinned. Dustin Poirier is the guy who can chin, and on top of that, more importantly, what Dustin Poirier is going to show up, like Kevin Holland I was just talking about. We don't know. We know Dustin Poirier is content in his life. How hungry is Dustin Poirier to get another belt? Probably hungry, but he has money now. He has his charities. He has his family. He's happy, and he's been very vocal about that, especially how he doesn't want to just fight anybody anymore. He wants to have some fun fights. He wants to get motivated to get in there. Is Benoit Saint Denis that guy? We don't know. And on top of that, Dustin Poirier just got knocked out again. Sometimes fighters change after that. Look what happened to Volkanovski. I don't know what Dustin Poirier is going to show up. I don't know if Benoit Saint Denis is at the caliber at the top of the lightweight division yet. This fight, absolutely not. All right, guys, let's talk about lock of the week. The fighter on the card that I believe has the closest to 100% chance of winning is going to be Mateusz Gamrot. Look, guys, Rafael dos Anjos is clearly past his prime now. He's taken on lesser competition. He can't keep up anymore. He's slower, and Mateusz Gamrot is still just probably exiting his prime, but he can still keep up with the best of the best. He is championship material. I know some people would bring that up for debate, but I believe he is championship material. Regardless, he is top contender material, and Rafael dos Anjos just isn't. Rafael dos Anjos also coming back down to lightweight. We don't know how that weight cut's going to go. I'm a big fan of dos Anjos, but I just cannot see him doing anything against a guy like Mateusz Gamrot. I just can't. Plus, you have the whole magic powers that Mateusz Gamrot has and could just have an injury against Rafael dos Anjos. But I believe this is a guaranteed win. Honestly, I really do. Now, guys, let's talk about some of my favorite props. And this is typically, I'm a big fan of over 1.5 round lines. And the first one's going to be Joanne Wood versus Marnia Moros. Yeah, we've seen some finishes, especially from the side of Joanne Wood, but I can see this one just going over. And honestly, same thing for Caitlin Serminara versus Macy Barber. Same kind of thing. Macy could hold her up against the cage. It could be a low-level striking match. Nothing special about it. Now for this one, CJ Vergara versus Azu Almabayev, I'm very interested in seeing what the round lines are going to be here because I don't know. I could just see there being some good value for this, but we'll have to wait throughout the week to see, right? I think this is going to go over 1.5. I think both guys are absolute animals. I think it's going to be a war, and I think it's probably going to go to a decision, to be honest with you. I think both fighters are very good, very tough. When you have two fighters as tough as these two, I don't mind it going over 1.5 at all. Now, for the last prop bet that I like, and typically I really don't like these, and I still won't be touching it myself, but I do like the bet, is going to be Despain versus Josh Parisian going under 2.5 rounds. The fight not going to a decision. I like that a lot because you have the big boy who has just steamrolled everybody in his path so far, getting quick knockouts. And you have Josh Parisian, who's very capable of knocking people out himself. I know Josh Parisian has been able to put it together, but we don't know. And this is why I'm not putting Robellis in my confident pick section, because we haven't seen him against a guy like Josh Parisian. I know that Josh Parisian kind of sucks for the UFC, but it's a step up in competition still. It still is. I'm just not feeling good about it, but I can see a finish on either side. I'm not going to be touching it myself, but I actually like that prop. All right, guys, welcome to the fun part of the video. Just seeing what we could do, just seeing some random parlays that we can put together. Again, it's actually like just the complete for fun part of the video, because and actually, to be honest with you, there is some fights that I don't mind putting together as parlays. I will actually probably be betting a lot on this card. I just see a lot of value in certain places. I like taking my chances here. I can't believe Curtis Blaydes is an underdog. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I don't know what everybody's seen that I'm not. Comment down below if you disagree with me, because I would love to know. But anyways, let's see what we can put together for fun. I'm not going to touch Joanne Wood. Michelle Pereira, you know what? I might do it for fun parlay, like for real. So Michelle Pereira, let's put on there. I'm picking him to win. I'm not touching that one. Asu Amabayev, Macy Barber. I'm even not feeling too good about the Macy Barber big, but Pedro Munoz, Curtis Blaydes, Jack Della Maddalena, Kevin Holland, Mateusz Gamrot, Piotr Jan, Benoit Saint Denis, Marlon Vera. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's tempting to play just for fun. What's $5 get you? Oh my god. I'm gonna do that for fun. I'm gonna do that for fun probably. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. But even if you wanted to mix a couple in favorites like Piotr Jan and Benoit Saint Denis, that's almost 3 times your money. I really, really like that. You want to talk about, like, there's so many underdogs that I like here. If you want Azu Ambayev, you want to put in some regular just favorites that are a little bit more likely to win. Gamrot and Azu Ambayev. I like Gamrot. I might just throw him and Piotr Jan together. I might throw Mateusz Gamrot in a 1.5 round line. I feel like that will be very, very valuable. It's too bad these don't come out, man. I just wish that we could play around with it a lot more. But Curtis Blaydes, I'm probably going to do a lot of single bets, to be honest with you. Like, I really, really am feeling good about this card, guys. Let me know what you thought down below, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the official full card breakdown video that'll be on screen for you right now. I will see you either there or in the next one, guys. Take care.